appreciated by Pete Carroll.
So Jeremy Boone will punt it away to Stephen Johnson. Stephen's going to try to return it. They open with 2 running backs, Stephon and Joe McKnight, and that is McKnight stepping in motion, and they'll flip it to him immediately. And over there on him is a terrific linebacker. That is Bowman, Navarro Bowman. Anthony McCoy was 86th, tight end, throwing short and underneath to the tight end. Out of bounds on that far side. Tony Davis, number 11, defensive back for the Nittany Lions, coming outside on this 3rd and 4, and back for Olympic. Pump fake not open. Bowman tripped him up, but Sanchez short of the first down. Greg Woidnick. Here comes Williams. Fair catch. At the 12-yard line, and it'll be the Nittany Lions. They'll bring the fullback Lawler in now. Now they get back to Royster, who breaks to the second level. First down, their best offensive play of the game, to the 29-yard line. 15 yards with his first carry. They leave Lawler in as that lead fullback. Royster slips into the heart of that D as he comes across the 30-yard line that time. 3 times in a row. Taylor Mays, the safety, presses the line now. They expect a running play, and they got it. Boone punting for the second time here today. Johnson back deep. Stephon Johnson. There are 2 Johnsons now related on the Trojan team. Fair catch is signaled inside the 15-yard line. Lovely, lovely lady she is. Handoff now is along with Gable. Gable's first carry of the game, and he comes to the 21-yard line. So C.J. Gable, who opened the UCLA game as a starting running back, fumbled, which led to a Bruin touchdown, put USC behind. He never saw the light of day after that. He was a little bit unhappy. But what coaches dislike more than anything in the world, Kirk, is losing the football.
No doubt about that. Probably athletically and physically the most complete running back was C.J. Gable, but we'll see all 3 of them tonight, Gable, Johnson, and Joe McKnight, and they all have over 600 yards rushing on the year.
Stanley Havili out, an academic problem, and so that means a freshman is in there operating at fullback as Gable could not get the first down, and he's upended by Lydell Sargent. Pennsylvania was always a huge Penn State fan. Gable slashes for the first down. The initial first down to the 31-yard line, and Mark Rubin knocked Tyrell Sales, a linebacker, off his feet. End around, and they bring Joe McKnight, lining him up. Kirk, just like you said, lining him up all over the field.
They will move him around, and all 3 of these running backs. I mean, you know, when locally people are saying, why didn't one guy become the guy? I mean, why have 3 different tailbacks all go over 600 yards, but they all bring something a little bit different to the table. I think you and I agree today could be a game much like last year's Rose Bowl where Joe McKnight is featured because of his big playability against his Penn State defense.
Coach McNair talking to Gable. McKnight twists, spins, and picks up the first down, apparently. So they continue to move him from the gun. Sanchez's hit, fumble, ball's down. Pressure from down behind. Do we have the game's first turnover? We have a yellow flag at the 43-yard line. The Nittany Lions think that they have recovered a fumble, and Shaw agrees. Obviously, instant replay upstairs will be taking a look at this play.
I want to see if Aaron Maben, he got such a good jump off the line of scrimmage. Did he get too good a jump? He's lined up off sides. Possibly 59, Aaron Maben, the All-American, who had 12 sacks this year for Penn State. He got
offsides, number 59 on the defense. That'll be a 5-yard penalty. We'll repeat first down.
Watch play action and going vertical here from SC.
They don't go empty after that. Keep a fullback and a running back down the middle, incomplete, overthrew. So Bowman has come out after that first series. He injured a hand. They taped it. Now they're putting a glove on the leading tackler for the Nittany Lions. We saw the hand being tended to after the first series down below. This was a little bit earlier.
It's a big play he made on third down. Forced the first punt for USC. It's going to take a lot to keep him out of this football game.
Fake. McKnight close to that first down marker. Sales making the stop for Penn State. Bowman back on the field for the Lions. Pump fake by Sanchez. He got a man open and he overthrew him again. And that was Patrick Turner, the senior from Tennessee, Nashville way, working deep on that far sideline. Williams moves in motion. Fires on that slant close to a first down, and that's Big McCoy, the 6'5", 255 junior tight end from Fresno, California. Dancing for the first down and breaking to daylight, Stephon Johnson, number 13. And Stephon just picked up 13 yards because Beeler misfired against UCLA 3 times. Middle, touchdown, Trojans strike first. That's Williams, the transfer from Arkansas.
To Damian Williams, a good job of using the eyes there by the junior quarterback.
Beeler tacks on the extra point. Beeler's line drive rockets out of the end zone. Comes on the 20. Let's go back to the score.
Well, the center fielder, Anthony Scrotto, the free safety right here, is going to work to this side. Damian Williams is here, and he's going to break to the middle. The timing here and how quickly Sanchez gets rid of the football does not allow Scrotto to get back to make the play. That's well-timed and a great execution there by Damian Williams, who's developed into being Mark Sanchez's favorite target. We were talking at the break. This is a very important series if you're a Penn State football player or fan.
Yep. First down, throwing in underneath, and it is complete to Brett Brackett, a sophomore receiver from New Jersey. Play fake and in trouble. Incomplete. Mayava probably didn't see it coming. If he had turned around earlier, who knows? And that is Derek Williams. Option first down. Taylor Mays continues to play deep center field. Kevin Ellison, the other safety, out with an injury, so Will Harris is also playing. Royster back on the field, works the sideline on the first down. And that was Brian Cushing, another one of the outstanding linebackers for the Trojans, number 10. He'll be playing Sunday football next year. Play fake, has to throw quickly. Here's Williams. They put it in his hands again for another first down. Moving him around, Will Harris forced to make the play. Stepping up in the pocket, penalty flag flies. Wide open is Butler. Butler still on his feet. 20. Remember, there's a penalty flag, however. Butler with a brilliant run inside the 10-yard line, but the penalty marker is down. Nittany Lions have already had one bad break, offside on an apparent turnover. Now a 45-yard play is coming back.
Illegal shift on the offense. Number 3 went in motion before all players were set and never stopped.
Wow.
That's a 5-yard penalty. Repeat first down.
1st and 15 after the penalty. Royster, left side, picks a hole. Gets back just beyond the original line of scrimmage. Mayava, number 43, has been a very active linebacker. He has top-end speed if they can get him to daylight. They play fake. They're going to throw the screen to him, and here he comes. He breaks the first tackle. Time. Slam. Got it. Butler inside the 10-yard line. They were at the 9-yard line, but a penalty brought that back, and now they have reached that spot again. Clark on a quarterback draw. Set to the middle. End zone. Touchdown. Barrels in. The senior will attempt to tie it up here with his left foot. A huge answer. Captain senior from Inglewood, California, unable to play today because of an injury. This will come out to the 20-yard line. First down and 10. Sanchez from under center has time. And coming through now is Ronald Johnson with his first reception, the sophomore from Muskegon, Michigan, as our first quarter comes to an end. Sanchez. Middle. Complete. Turner. Here's the tailback. Play fake, and Sanchez going to keep it in the air. Got another man wide open, and McCoy breaks down to the 11-yard line, and they're having a hard time matching up against the 6'5", 255-pound tight end for over 100 yards throwing. Now they come back, and McKnight on the toss. And the Nittany Lions were ready for that play, and Aaron Maben has to dump it off now to McKnight in the flat, and McKnight with that speed gets back close to the 5-yard line. Here comes another quarterback draw, this one by Sanchez. Touchdown. Both quarterbacks run in for scores, and this one puts USC ahead again for the second time. His holder is the punter, Roynick. Cooper Stevenson will have the snap. 7-point lead again by USC. Stefan, and he is ridden down by Alma. Here comes Stefan, picking his way patiently and diving toward that first down marker. He's very close, and Mayava, again, number 43 has been the most active. Short of the first down. Monstrous hit by Kyle Moore, the senior defensive end from Georgia.
Well, it is so tough to execute against USC when they know the run is coming. They get a running start. The safeties, the linebackers. Brent, you talked about Moore winning a stalemate there against Ornberger. When you give that defensive line an opportunity to battle and know that that run is coming, it's just too hard to execute. I think the sneak there works a lot better. That play took way too long to develop.
Absolutely. Stefan Johnson back. The Trojans have scored touchdowns in the last 2 possessions now. But they're going to have real good field position. 8 trips, and it goes by, and this will take a Nittany Lion bounce. A break as it is down at the 16-yard line. Football and the lead. Quick flip out to the side. Williams, who scored their first touchdown. Breaking to daylight is Johnson tripped up at the 40-yard line. Scarrato hanging on, and it looks like we've got another penalty back by the 44-yard line.
Wow, this is outstanding execution by USC.
Might have been a reason for it.
Yeah, well.
Holding.
Except for the
number
hold.
61 on the offense.
To the outside.
That'll be a 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. Repeat first down.
High and reaching up and grabbing its Turner. Play fake. Time. Oh, beautiful turn in by Williams. What a beautiful pattern he just ran. from the 20. Sanchez high, and I think the reason why it was high, his back foot slipped as he was setting up as we go down below to Lisa.
Von Johnson and C.J. Gable are going to have to carry the load in the USC backfield. Joe McKnight, I'm told, out for the rest of the game. That sprained toe, the same toe that's been bothering him all season long. He has already gone back to the locker room. Right.
So Joe McKnight, who was their hero last New Year's Day against the Fighting Illini of Illinois, is done for the day. But like Kirk has said, there's talent galore in that backfield. 2nd down and 10. Quick strike back out to the outside, and that's Osbury's first reception. And he's a 6'4" fella, so everywhere you look at these receivers, there's just great size.
Well, that's the dangerous thing here for Penn State with undersized secondaries. Patrick Turner is 6'5", Osbury's 6'4". The big tight end Anthony McCoy, 86, is coming in at 6'5", and Penn State, you have to make up your mind. You're going to try to stop the size and speed on the outside, and if you do that, you leave the tight end all alone to work on the undersized safety. So right now, that's a mismatch for USC.
Sanchez has thrown for 179 yards, and he adds to his total, going back to McCoy. Tacks on 3 more.
3 more years added to his contract.
Line drive. Scooped up by Williams. Cuts to the middle. And there's a penalty flag down. Green continues to be the tailback. Royster still out with that knee injury. Clark has plenty of time. Incomplete and a penalty flag. Interference is going to be called on Kerry Harris against the Nittany Lions. In trouble. Gets it off in time. And he hits Brackett, the sophomore, for the 2nd time today. Gets down in his stance. Clark not going to get the first down. Hit on the release, and it is 4th down. Pushing. Stephon Johnson awaits Boone's punt. Goes out of bounds. 1st down and 10. There's a handoff now to Stephon. Penetrate, and Johnson battles on. They're going to roll Sanchez. Wide open, and he got his favorite target. He got Williams. Gable now the running back. There's Gable, and a penalty flag. Competing team.
Offsides on the defense. 5-yard penalty from the previous spot. Repeat 1st down.
Trojans keep it on top, and he couldn't get it off. Our first sack of the game, Bowman. Navarro Bowman, the sophomore from Maryland. Lions would love to have another crack at it. And here is Williams. Off him too far, 1st down. Cannot give him a cushion like that, huh? Sanchez is 14 of 17 for 211 yards and a touchdown in this game. Gable's in trouble and going down. Odrick, the defensive tackles. Meanwhile, Pete Carroll wants to go for the juggler here late in the 1st half. Deep middle and dropped. Incomplete. Now Kirk Ascarino made a fine play, knocking that ball free, or Turner would have had a completion. Under pressure, throws Williams underneath. Williams going for the 1st down. Got it, out of bounds. Still got a minute and a half to work with. That's an eternity. End zone, touchdown USC. Beautiful read, and Ronald Johnson, the sophomore from Michigan. Beeler tacks on another extra point. Here's a memo for the East Coast media. The Pac-10 is about to win the duel amongst the conferences in the bowl games, folks. Pac-10 is undefeated. And the one you're looking at right here. And the offense not too bad either. Here's Stephon Green. Stephon breaks the daylight. He's got top end. Mays, fumble. Loose ball. Trojans got it. A 30-yard completion.
They're not done
with
with
the fumble. They've got 112, and Sanchez firing again. Incomplete.
This is huge for this conference.
Stephon Johnson, mobile quarterback, scoring with time running out. And even in that game, USC had a great chance. But Reggie Bush makes a terrible mental blunder with that lateral. And Lindale can't pick up that 4th and 1.
No.
It's just a remarkable run by USC. And of course, with the National Football League staying out of this metropolis, these guys are rock stars out here. Williams is wide open. The corner, Herbie, is off him like 8 yards. And there's a penalty flag also coming in.
Personal foul, face mask, number 1 on the defense, 15-yard penalty, 1st and 10.
They're going to go early in that first round. I want him to go. Drop off the screen, and here's Gable. Gable running daylight, got end zone, touchdown. They dropped the hammer again, folks. Beeler adds the extra point. There's Powell coming out again. But when it comes to a big game, does anybody get a team prepared better than Pete Carroll?
No.
In favor of who wins what should be a great game between Oklahoma and Florida. We had a split championship once before.
6 penalties now. 7 penalties.
Royster's injured, so Stephon Green's the tailback, and Clay Matthews, and one of the loneliest figures of all, will be that man right there, because as we understand it, he's going to stay right there in the coach's box. I'm sure he just feels terrible about the performance, because it is so unlike a Joe Paterno team to make the kind of mistakes that they made here. 7 penalties, 62 yards.
Outstanding execution.
Look who gets the ball to start the second half.
Oh, man.
Through the end zone, it'll come out on the 1 end against these receivers. They're too good and too talented.
The problem is if they come up, then the receivers go by them.
Completes his first throw of the second half. The aerial show continues. Great grab.
Typically, I think they're concerned.
Now we're tightening up.
3rd and short, 3rd and 1, they got to get tight. But I think they're concerned about the speed, just the speed of going right, quick move and around them. It's just not what, if that's not what you do, then it's tough to make that adjustment and all of a sudden do that for Tom Bradley.
Joe McKnight injured and out, so Stephon Johnson, number 13, and Gable will be the running backs. And busted play, and Sanchez makes the most out of it. Turn it over after a 35-yard gain. Have a 45-yard run called back. First down, Johnson. Tried to blitz. Sanchez steps away. High, incomplete. Patrick Turner, the receiver, working the near sideline.
But I think if you talk to Mark, he still feels that he can develop and improve. And when you look at around him, almost everybody returns to this offense with the exception of Patrick Turner.
Gable brought down beautifully by Josh Hall, the junior from Milhelm, Pennsylvania. This one's a toughie. 15 yards he needs. Got a receiver open. And hit him, but it's short of the first down.
What a
Williams
spot.
again. Quick count, first down. Toss with Gable, trying to get to the short side, and it's clogged up, and he makes the most out of it. They tore it away down there on the sideline. Tony Davis coming away with the football.
Never count the Lions out.
Here we go now.
Here they go.
For pride, there's no question. Stephon Green. This is the key replay. I think you folks can see this clearly at home. That ball was out.
And it looks like Josh Gaines, the captain, in there stripping that football. Got to attack. I mean, if you're a Penn State player, you're the quarterback, Darryl Clark. Never give up. Keep attacking downfield. Got to make plays.
Royster out with a knee injury. Clark going to try once a block from Lawler. Lawler saw the player coming in behind, and Clark wanted him to move downfield. Plenty of time. Steps away. Into trouble now. Throws. Got it. And he finally found Williams. Wow. Derek Williams had a little daylight, and this is perhaps the best throw of the game under pressure.
An outstanding throw. Clark showing again the presence there, but Matthews does not give up on the play. But what I was impressed with is not just Clark throwing the football, but the strength to be able to be running backwards away from Matthews and then to throw an accurate ball downfield towards the sideline as Matthews is closing in on you for the second straight play.
That's a scary sight, too. That hair covering.
We saw that at the
Here comes Clark with that option look. Keeps it and takes a lick from Mays.
It's against the rules.
And around now, Derek slips. Derek slipped on the 40. Battling in. Throws underneath to Green, well short of the first down. Mawaluga picking up the running back. Down 31-7, why not? Got to go for it. Coming off the edge. They've got him from the blind side. Caught by Norwood and steps out of bounds, but it's short of the first down. USC football. That was young Everson Griffin closing in from the backside. The sophomore who lost his starting job. Johnson explodes for 11 yards on first down. 6 minutes. Johnson stopped at the line of scrimmage this time.
Imagine that. Imagine USC looking like this. Winner of the Oklahoma-Florida game a week later.
And that's going to be another. Well, that will be a great football.
It'll be a war. It's going to be a war. Last two Heisman quarterbacks going head-to-head. Let's get a look at Penn State's defense and the struggles here today. Out in the Rose Bowl against this SC offense that is healthy, clicking.
Second down and 9 for Sanchez and the Trojans. Three-step slant. Got it beautifully. Patrick Turner. Williams goes in motion. Complete underneath. Well, the record was set against Penn State. Danny O'Neal threw for 456 yards.
In a losing effort.
In a losing effort.
Yeah.
But frequently, as you know, the losing quarterback will throw. You look at
trying to get back
yards in the NFL, they're trying to get back in the game a lot.
Yeah. Just depends on if Mark Sanchez wants to stay in this game and if they want to keep him in the game, because at this pace, he's going to have a shot.
Williams has 147 of those yards. Running right straight ahead, and there is Mark Tyler, Wendell's son, redshirt freshman, missed last year because of an injury. And he has a fine upside. There's a flag thrown on the near side.
Before the snap, false start, number 86 on the offense, 5-yard penalty. It remains second down.
You know, back in 1976, and I would guess that that our friend Dick Vermeil certainly remembers what Pops did in that game. Wendell Tyler ran wild, and Vermeil and UCLA, they'd lost a regular season game against Ohio State and Woody Hayes. They came out and won 23-10, and Wendell Tyler rushed 21 times for 172 yards in that game. 3 steps, 1 outside drop. One of the few drops that we've had today, because Bowman, he rattled Williams' cage, didn't he?
And they have been struggling, especially in the high-profile bowl games, and this one will be added to the list.
3rd and 11. Drops it off underneath, lets the rush in. Johnson will not get the first down. Set the screen pass with the running back. And we'll see Williams again going back deep. Derek Williams, he'll touch it again. Or maybe he won't. On into the end zone. There's a penalty flag.
We had Penn State, it looked like they had about 14 or 15 guys on the field, guys trying to get on and off the field, and I don't know if it was that or if it's offsides or what it might be, but
There was a substitution violation on the offense. They went straight to the line and snapped the ball. That penalty is declined. It'll be Penn State ball on the 20, 1st and 10.
Evan Royster lost with a knee injury. Now Brandon Beecham, the true freshman, on the field, throwing it underneath the bracket. Neil caught him moving. There's a penalty flag. Beecham's first carry of the game.
Offsides on the defense, number 26. That penalty will be declined. Play results in a first down.
Got 24 unanswered points by the Trojans. Penn State tied it at 7, and now wide open. Butler inside the 30 with a nice run after the catch. Dion Butler, the senior from Woolbridge, Virginia. First down and 10. Green back in as the running back. With 3 yards on that crease, and Mawaluga. Second and 7. Hand fighting their way in. Finds Struck to the 15-yard line. Penalty flag. Penalty flag on the play. Norwood
head-to-head there. I think he got the better shot on Kevin Thomas, his own player. He got both guys. And it takes a lot of courage to come into the middle of that defense, knowing that Taylor Mays is going to come in and take a shot on you.
Norwood is obviously shaking up here. We'll take a look at this.
The ruling on the play was an incomplete pass. There was a personal foul on the defense, helmet-to-helmet contact, number 2. That'll be a 15-yard penalty from the previous spot, automatic first down.
First and 10 after the penalty. Green, crease. Bangs across the 15-yard line, close to another first down. His first carry for the first down. Going to take off to the right as he got a block down at fumble. Scooped up by the Trojans. Moala, the big defensive tackle.
After review, the Penn State runner knee was down at the 5-yard line. Therefore, we will have second down and goal at the 5.
So one of those backers is watching for the quarterback draw. to the short side, and he's short of the end zone. Third down coming up. Rolling. Throw. Got Williams. That's where they split him way out, and the Nittany Lions with the 4th second-half touchdown. Taking on the extra point, Tevin Kelly. Keyshawn Johnson. A lot of folks around Evanston, Herbie, remember what he did.
No, you do.
At the goal line. And Gable is short of the 20-yard line. Stick right with us here, and Herbie, we'll see. Sanchez not calling it off. He and Carroll are still going downfield with the strike. First down and 10 here, Herbie, and there we've got some movement and a penalty flag. So after the 5-yard penalty, down the middle again, and he's got him slipped, is Turner. First down and 10. And I know, Herbie, you've talked about all these great players. We want to ask Keyshawn. Sanchez got wide open. Touchdown, USC. Ronald Johnson. 45-yard touchdown.
Another easy throw from Art Sanchez.
Keyshawn, these guys are playing like they might want to play the winner of the Oklahoma-Florida game in Southern California. Ball on the tee now for Beeler. Williams is going to come out. Short of the 20, and Sanchez now with 405 yards. That's a USC Rose Bowl record. Clark back in the gun. Going to go deep down the middle. Incomplete. Now, all time was Danny O'Neal, Keyshawn, 456 yards, but he threw 61 times. Sanchez has thrown only 34.
Well, close to get bonus points, right? Fell for that simple reason. But when you look at teams across the country, that's not what they're doing. We're recruiting kids in Southern California, or California in general. We're grabbing the best players in other states. We're going to New Jersey. We're going to Arkansas, grabbing transfers, and that's how we're building this program.
Couple of questions. That was Stephon Green, incidentally, a couple of yards. Keyshawn, I'd like to know how it is that Pete Carroll has been able to put together a dynasty. Now, USC's always been good. Let's make no mistake, one of the best in the country. But, I mean, when you look back at this body of work by this coaching staff over the last 7 years, it's one of the greatest stretches of any school in history.
Well, you have to buy into the system. And I think Pete Carroll has sold the system, and anytime you're a good salesman, that's what you have to do. You have to sell something. He's sold the University of Southern California. He sold USC.
Like getting to the league, it's not eroded this program. They keep that on the back burner until it's their time to go. That's the most impressive thing.
Well, I think that is the case. Sometimes you guys will get away. Your Mike Williams, your Wayne Jarrett's.
The bulk of these defensive stars might go in the next draft as Clark tries to throw it downfield. Butler makes a fine play. Clark coming down the near side, incomplete and out of bounds. Second down and 10. Here is Green, breaks free, great speed, can't split the last two defenders, and he's down at the 15-yard line. Herbie, take a look at this.
Well, because, first of all, they really can't help a football team. They're young and they need to stay in school.
Clark in zone, got a man open, and he missed him. He had Brett Brackett down there, and he could have run up 6.
So right now for him, he's doing a pretty good job.
There's Williams, hit him with that quick pass outside. Third down and 3, and that's the fullback. That was Lawler, Danny Lawler, doubleheader Sunday. And here is Clark on a pitch to Green, and he is knocked down by you-know-who. Number 58, Ray Mamaluga. So they're going to let him attempt to tack on 3 points at the Rose Bowl. 7:27 to go, 25-yard field goal. He's been a fine kicker, and this is his last game, so that means a lot. And the onside kick, and this is fielded by Johnson. Ronald Johnson steps out of bounds. And Sanchez is still there, and a fine play by Bowman. The Pac-10 about to go 5-0, and they will be the winner based on winning percentage, and no one else can wind up with 3 games and be batting 1,000. The SEC lost today. South Carolina beaten by Iowa. Rose Bowl games as they close in, having beaten Michigan and Illinois, and now it'll be Penn State. Stephon Johnson. And you know, a lot of coaches have tried. This is a 4th down punt coming up. Under pressure, Woodard gets it off, and they're going to let this one roll down.
And you did the second dance.
The second dance.
And you guys just had a great time. And by the way, Dancing with the Stars.
Here comes Williams now.
Which she was a huge hit on the last series.
Herbie, I'll get you. Yeah, it'll be next season, but I'll get you, my friend. There's Corliss, the fine tight end, picking up another first down. Screen, and they misfire on it.
I think the biggest difference, we keep talking about SC versus the Big Ten. The thing that I see, and I think people miss this, they think it's speed.
2nd and 10 now for Clark. Wide open. Norwood. Remember that hit he took earlier? That helmet to helmet. Back out there with the reception, picking up the first down. Mays. Here comes Green. Good balance. He's slipping coming through that line, pushing, wrestling it down. Big win for Oregon in the Pac-10, and there was a movement down in the trenches. Now this has been some bowl season for the Pac-10. Tom Hansen's last year as commissioner. We certainly
start, number 64 on the offense, 5-yard penalty. It remains 2nd down.
And 2nd down, slant, and the receiver fell as he pushed. There was movement, it looked, by that defensive lineman. There's the flag, throws it in for a touchdown. Norwood caught it. I thought the defensive lineman jumped, but we'll let them sort this out. If it was, it's a touchdown, and the Nittany Lions playing much better in the second half.
Offside, number 93 on the defense. That penalty will be declined. Touchdown.
That's Everson Griffin.
Comes up with the score.
I think, Herbie, now a lot of people will probably disagree with me as Kelly kicks this off. It's a 14-point margin right now. It goes in. I'm starting to think that quarterbacks may be more important in the college game than they are in the NFL.
Yeah.
Out of bounds. Coming underneath to Adam Goodman, handling the ball.
But on defense, most of these guys all come back with the exception of Aaron Mabin, who's a defensive end who never give up.
3-14, and they are just hanging tough. Johnson battling. It's alive as these Nittany Lion fans. I mean, they want this other touchdown.
Sure do.
This one's real right now. Fair catch by Derrick. Right now it's a 14-point game. Hit on the release, and it's intercepted. Picked off as the receiver goes down, and it was grabbed by Will Harris. Corliss is the receiver who slipped. Here's Stephon Johnson, and he is thrown down by A.J. Wallace.
But in my opinion, you don't take anything away from what USC has accomplished. They've dominated this football game. With that said, you put an asterisk next to that and tip your cap to Penn State for not quitting and coming back and at least trying to make it respectable.
Had a 400-yard passing day, handing off to Stephon Johnson. You know, we talk about Mark Sanchez and over his head. Nittany Lions with a chance here in the last 30 seconds. First down and 10. Tried to get it off. There was Matthews again and Kyle Moore. 31 seconds to go now. Complete to Butler, but Butler is going to be well short of the end zone. But they don't have any timeouts, and Harris was there. What do you hear?
Yeah, Harris came to the outside, used the leverage to make Butler go back to the inside to keep that clock moving. Nice play there by Kerry Harris.
Here's the third down. Stops the clock. Throws a lob to the end zone. Jump ball intercepted. Threw it up for grabs into Harris's hands. Three in a row for Pete Carroll and the USC Trojans. First time in history. Steve Sarkisian hugs his quarterback before he goes to the airport and grabs the next plane to Seattle. Mark Sanchez throwing for 413 yards here today. A USC Rose Bowl record. And a long day for the grand old man.